renowned polar explorer and Ledlenser ambassador. Hi, Alex. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks. Good afternoon.
Good. You're known for being in very cold places for very long times. How did you get involved with Ledlenser?
Yeah, that's right. Well, for quite a long time now, in fact, I think approaching 15 years, my specialization has been, going on cold camping holidays, trying to do things that haven't been done before. Some of them maybe beyond the realms of possibility, but that's the edge of expedition craft that I'm trying to tread. And I became a bit of a specialist in particular in full winter conditions. So that obviously means low light conditions. And that meant naturally that I was going to be, very, very motivated to get the best low light level gear possible, including torches and flashlights. And so it brought me to Ledlenser. And I think it was 2016, 2017 when I was having a chat with the team about the different technologies that they have. And I've been using their various models in on my projects ever since.
Obviously, the cold can affect equipment. I mean, how well did Ledlenser equipment stand up to those kind of extreme temperatures?
Yeah, the key things that can really go wrong, I guess, in the sphere of torches are the material that the actual torches are built out of. So the options are really plastic or metal. Metal has its own limitations, of course, because it means that you have to protect it from contact with skin. So if you are going to go with a metal body, it needs to be kept away from bare skin. And obviously, some plastics can behave very, very badly in the cold. But luckily, they've gone with a combination of polycarbs and metal bodies, obviously combined with rubbers for buttons and so on, which means that I've never had one fail due to the cold. The other part, of course, of a torch is going to be the power system, the battery. And I can remember, back in the day with older battery technologies, we would have nightmares using nickel metal hydride techs, although they have got better in the meantime, even using alkaline batteries. But of course, now most people have moved to not just sort of first and second generation lithium batteries, but now the much cleverer ones that you can get hold of these days. And so, I've not had any problems with Ledlensers falling apart on me or just dying on me. But you've got to look after every bit of equipment, of course. You can't just abuse it and expect it to keep on going at -40.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a different tool for a different situation. I mean, how many different kinds of the Ledlenser torches do you use, and how would you use them?
In a combination of uses. So my normal day-to-day expedition head torch will be a large rig, which would have the actual LED on the front of my head, and then normally, because batteries are best when they're kept warm, I would then have a cable running down into my jacket where the power pack sits. And that's all very well and good for day-to-day long-term use. In the tents in the evening, and when I'm doing some science work, often it's easier just to have one that you can grab, stick on your head, go and do something, and then pop it off 5 minutes later. And that's when the all-in-ones, torches like this, come into their own, because they're lighter, they're easier. You don't need to run cables down through your jacket, and they keep on running absolutely fine, even in the cold temperatures. The thing, coming back to the batteries that I was saying earlier, with lithium batteries, you've got to be careful when you charge them. You've got to make sure you charge them reasonably warm. Lithiums don't like charging when the liquids inside are frozen. But actually, in discharge, the performance isn't that dramatically reduced when they are cold. So you may think that having an all-in-one torch on the front of your head is going to cause massive battery degradation. But I found that it's a few percentage points at worst. And so that's the sort of the expedition, the polar expedition world. I've also now been doing quite a lot of work on my boat, my expedition boat called Alan. It's a converted lifeboat. And obviously, when you're working in the evening and at night there, often you're making night passages. You do need a quality torch for that too. And so the fact that a large portion of the range at Ledlenser are now fully waterproof, weather sealed, that's useful, because you're always ending up with salt sea spray and all that sort of stuff as well.
Do you have a favorite product, one that you always like a go-to?
Ooh, that actually from the third category that I haven't really covered just there, I do have a favorite. I really should know this, whether this is a current model or not. I think they may have slightly improved it since, but this is the MT18, which is, as you can see, this is not a small torch.
No.
But I've used this for long distance route finding, but also it's bright enough that if you put it in the corner of the room, it can actually provide full emergency lighting for an entire space. So it's a phenomenal torch, very easy to focus, really tough metal shell, and so you're not going to be crushing that by accident. And although it's a bit of a weight, I've found that it's been worth its weight in gold when I've taken it on trips.
Yeah. Are you heading up to the Kendal Mountain Festival?
I am, yes, yeah, the weekend, that's right.
Are you giving any talks or?
Yes, on the Sunday at lunchtime, it's going to be the 1 p.m. slot. I'm going to be on one of the base camp stages, and I'll be doing a half-an-hour Q&A session, which will be really fun.
That should be interesting. Are you taking any Ledlenser torches with you just in case?
In case I break down on the way, it's probably not a bad idea, is it? I'll be coming up from Brecon, having done a speaking job there the day before.
Oh,
so
right.
I think it'll be wise to have a couple packed with me in the car, won't it?
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a drive, yeah. So yeah, but no, that's great. Well, thank you for talking to me about Ledlenser, and that's brilliant. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you.